So let's talk ergonomics. I have to say that they thought about a lot of things. Just a couple of quirks, but everything else seems to work well. There's a slight learning curve, of course, when you take into account the design of the car, which is pretty futuristic. So let me show you a couple of the quirks. One of it is the door design to make it part of the scissor door treatment. All the handles are inset into the door at an angle, which is, it takes a while for you to get used to it, but it really is like some exotic car kind of thing. So once you get past that, it's easy to remember. But this whole angular thing, I hope you can see it on the camera. The door card right here goes straight and then angles at a 40-degree angle or something like that. And the door handle is there, and that fits in my hands just right when I need to pull it. The mirror and door controls, on the other hand, at that same angle is kind of hard to reach from time to time, especially the windows, because I have to really crane my fingers a little bit to reach it, especially once I'm rested on the armrest. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you noticed this, but the armrest on the left is a little bit higher than the right, and also depends on your seating position. If you like to sit a little bit higher, I'm sitting really low right now because I'm a low rider. Yeah, but this one is low and this is high, and if you're sitting higher up, it's even a bigger difference, because then you're really kind of reaching like this a little bit more or something, like this. So I know this would be nice to be adjustable, or this one would have been nice, or slightly higher, wouldn't have mattered. But that's a really small niggle. Everything else is really nice. The steering wheel is nice and cool. 2-spoke design, and the design element in it is really cool. The little kink, and it's unique and very conceptual, and it's cool. I like it. Getting into a proper seating position is very easy as well. You can adjust the steering wheel for reach and rake. We're walking through this adventure together, guys. Everything else is pretty easy to reach. Once you have your seats and your steering wheel set up, seat belts are not height adjustable though, but that's not a problem. Your seats are one of those things that can help mitigate that issue. But everything is within reach. In your shot here, you probably can see my hand reaching the center console buttons. They're all within reach. Even the farmost one is just barely out there, but probably because of my seating position. I'm glad the screens are not touch screen, otherwise you'd be like, reaching for it, because you know we all like to touch. Yeah. The hazard button is right here in the middle, easy to reach, bright red, and all the controls up here are easy to reach. Your vanity mirror is right there too. LED lights, as norm of this kind of car, all LED lights. You have 3 dome lights, one central that controls all, and 2 side buttons, one for driver, one for passenger, and then you have back seat lights, reading lights for the passengers in the back. The passengers don't have oh crap handles, because this is really a plus 2. It's not really a family car like some people say, or try to push it as, but because you can tell, there's no oh crap handles. This car can do oh crap moments, and there's none in the back, so it tells you something. The only thing that they have back there are little roll-out coat hangers. So here we are inside of the car of the i3, and it's really simple, but yet classy at the same time. It looks like it was designed by a Scandinavian furniture house, but believe it or not, this came out of Germany. BMW prides itself here in using a lot of recyclable materials, recycled and recyclable, my bad, in terms of they used a lot of reusable things, as well as making the car 95%, up to 95% recyclable at the end of its life. For example, here in the doors, this material right here, that's kanaf. It's a hibiscus family and is related to okra. And you usually find it in your door carts on the flip side, or in subwoofer boxes, but they exposed it and put it right there. It's pretty awesome. And this is reused, or some of them actually are from culturally protected wood cultivars, and this one is oak. They also have eucalyptus, which is really light and nice. These seats, they usually come in standard trim in cloth, made of recycled weaving, but this one is leather. But one thing cool about leather, nonetheless, that's friendly, is it uses olive dye from olive plants. Same thing with the door pleather here. This is fake, and this material is also recycled. So this car is really, its emphasis is on being friendly to the environment and such like that, but it's really pretty. I love the curves of the dash. It is very similar to the they didn't differ much from the concept car. The only difference, the concept car, was it didn't have this far-reaching dash line, which I think they made a right decision in doing this in a production car. It makes it look so expansive in terms of size in such a compact space. It gives you the illusion of space. I'm glad they kept the instrument cluster dedicated buttons, which you can program here 1 to 8, your radio, or just use it as shortcuts to certain menus in, like, say, navigation, and address entry, for example, or vehicle info, battery charging status, whatever you want to customize is there. Basic AC controls right here, and then your fan speed on and off. Here's your temperature gauge. Since we're doing this, let me show you how you power on the car. You put your foot on the brake and grab your hand around this thing and press start, and a cool little startup sequence. This is nice. Now let's look at the knob real quick. This you pull back to reverse, you pull forward a little bit to neutral, to the next dedent, you push up to drive, and you want to park, you press park, you go back to park, you want to shut down the car. Simple as that. And then you want to start it back up again. Simple thing. Now here's the temperature control, as I was talking about earlier. Just a twist knob, really nice quality feel. Alright, if you want to power it down and such. Here's the glove box. It is a pop-up kind, and in here you see the even the manual pack is recycled materials, and it's really cool. It looks designer-like. BMW i series. I wonder what the i8 one looks like. It's nice and decent sized, enough to fit a thick manual, but not much more. It's lit as well inside. This car comes with the Harman & Kardon sound system as well. It's okay, not that great. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the door, and then 2 at the back as well. While they have tweeters and drivers at the back, so not bad. So 2, 4, 6, 7 speakers. Pretty good stuff. The steering wheel boss here is pretty cool design. 2-spoke with all kinds of control buttons here. Left side for your cruise control. This car also has adaptive cruise, which you can set up and down here for distance from the car, increasing the distance from the car in front of you or decreasing. It's really great for start-stop traffic or city driving. Really convenient. This is your basic radio controls, and here's your phone, accept, and this is your voice control button as well. Now let's see if we can get a shot of this. The wiper stock is pretty comprehensive. This car comes with the let's see, there you go, there you focus right there. This comes with auto and auto wipers, so you can just leave it on all the time and it'll do its thing. Otherwise, if you want to do it manually, swipe down to do a single swipe up to start first mode, and keep going on from there. To use the rear washers, just twist this knob. Now, the most infuriating thing about Beamers in the modern age is its signal stock. There's no dedents for left or right. It's all electronic. So if you do make a proper turn, yes, it will click back in place if you go left or go right. But if you just do a lane change or whatever and accidentally just tap it and activate it, then you have to manually press it back, and you don't even know if you turn it off or not. That's the hard part. Anyways, this button right here cycles to up here in the digital display the different modes and such. So if I press that, you see on the left side you can change the kilowatt hour, miles, average miles per gallon, current temperature, that kind of information. All right, and on the left here you have the light switches. You have auto mode, all lights off, and so on and so forth, brightness. Right down here you have the buttons to open the gas tank. You have to hold it down. So this car has a range extender. And what it is, it's an auxiliary little generator that helps charges the battery. It's not a hybrid because it does not drive the wheels. So it has a little tank. It's, I think, 2 liters, and it helps extend the range of the car by 60 miles or 60 plus, depending on how you drive. So in this case, to open the gas tank is not just a tap. You have to hold it down for a couple of seconds to depressurize the tank, and you can open the flap in the front of the car. Frunk button in the middle, and down below is the trunk button. That's that. And then over on this side, your normal pedals. It has a knee airbag, but technically where your feet go, it's really your shin airbag. It protects your shin. All the vents, and down below here is another, this is a strap tie down, kind of cheesy looking. Flat floor right across the bottom, so you can put your bag or something, or just walk across to the other side of the car. One thing about using an electric vehicle is because it's so quiet, and once you're sitting in the driveway, you can hear all kinds of sounds. Like say if you use the air conditioning and turn it off, there's all kinds of hissing and whirring going on, which is really weird. It sounds like your car is braking or your compressor is going out, but really it's just doing its business. Normal cars do, and that you don't normally hear because the engine is running or something. The other thing that's really loud in this car are the brakes. When you apply the parking brake, it is loud, and you can feel it through the brake pedal. It goes, and when you use the brake pedal itself, which you don't often use because of brake regeneration from the electric motor, when you use the physical disc brakes, it is loud too. It sounds like your brakes are seizing up, or rusted brakes after rain or something that goes. Other than that, it's no big deal. It's nice and quiet and very serene, and I like we like in driving in this. I love hearing the whine of the electric motor. It's like light speed Sulu. Wait, was it Sulu that ran the engine? Sulu was controls speed? I don't know. I'm not a Star Trek expert. Punch it, Chewie. One thing about this car is, because of its design language, which is really cool, by the way, BMW, nicely done, designers. The design language is so swoopy, and it has so many textures and so many layers and so many touch points that for people using this as a family car, you know where I'm going with this. This thing is gonna get filthy really fast. I can already imagine like the iDrive controller, and I mean this is a problem with modern cars too, where they take away the shifter and move it into make it into buttons, and I can see crumbs getting in here. Americans love to eat in the car. Don't know why. Drink in the car. And these things are, I hope they're waterproof, at least IP6 something. And I see crumbs going in, and this is ridiculous. I mean, these things are bound to break, and I hope that either they waterproof it or find a way to move these controls somewhere else more centrally located. Like Ferrari and some of those bigger sports car brands are already experimenting with controls all over the steering wheel and around here. Back in the old days when they were built like cockpits and the controls are here, I miss that because they're all here and centered around the driver and they're within reach. And there's nothing here really. You just have the shifter, maybe handbrake, miss that, and a large center compartment with cup holders perhaps. This has quite a lot of wasted space. There's a blank area here. I guess it's to rest your rest your wrist for the iDrive, but this thing is so high up, I don't even, see, this is a weird angle. I can't even, it's not comfortable enough. If this was forward enough, sure. This car is like an expensive furniture, and like furniture, I'm going to be swifting this thing front and back all day long on Saturday, because this thing will gather dust like crazy. And if this is used by families, oh, it's going to be a crumb magnet, and with all the buttons in the middle and everything. I can see this with when people carry kids, the little nooks here and there, because of all the swoopy designs and all the curves and everywhere. There's gonna be things caught, and I can see even behind the screen back here, there are gonna be spiders that come in and they'll build a little cobweb and make their home there, and you wouldn't even know about it because there are nooks and crannies. Most people won't care. Most iDrive users won't care about those things, because this is, one day it's gonna be the common car. I applaud BMW, speaking of the design and all that, I applaud BMW for taking this a step further. They did this along with the i8 just to show the world that, hey, we can make and put into production a concept car or concept cars, and go against all our design philosophies that you see in all our current production cars, like the 3 Series all the way to the 7 and the X5s and X3s, and come out with something exciting. And this car is now 5 years old. It came out in 2013, I believe, and it still looks good. My son, everybody has seen it, they say this looks swanky. I mean, it's unique and it creates opinions, but creating opinion 5 years later tells you a lot. So the design language and the philosophy and the ideas, it's still one of the most environmental friendly cars in production. I'm amazed by that. 95% recyclable, this car up to, and it's, no other car has done it, and BMW went ahead and did it. So I'm excited. I hope that they make a version 2. They said they're not gonna do it again. The i3 and the i8 are gonna be collector's items if they do it. I mean, if they stop building it, they're gonna be collector's items. But I hope they come out with version 2, because this car deserves another chance to show the world what it can do.